Today's April 2nd, coming to you from my wonderful backyard. I want to talk about borrower defense, how to qualify. You apply because you believe your school misled or lied to you, taking out loans for semesters they didn't even actually end up enrolling in. And they lied about their job placement rates. They lied about accreditation. They lied about graduation rates. They also lied about the licensure or transferability of the credits. There's a whole list of schools that automatically qualify. It's over 100 schools. If your school's on this list of schools that are qualifying for bar defense, the better. I'm going to lead with some student loan news and updates. We've helped people get 80, 90,000 of absolute forgiveness from applying and consolidating and getting access to income-driven waiver programs. I'm Kat, and this channel talks about personal finance for those with student loan debt. I talk about everything from wealth building, real estate, house hacking. I own this tiny house I'm sitting in front of, and much more. I'm a mom. I'm a founder of a company, so I talk about entrepreneurship. If you like that sort of content, please like, subscribe, and share. Today's April 2nd, coming to you from my wonderful backyard. I want to talk about borrower defense, how to qualify, but I'm going to lead with some student loan news and updates. And then we're going to talk about the qualification for borrower defense because we're getting a lot of questions and there's not as much specific resources online for those that are trying to get help with borrower defense. So we want to be here to be a resource for borrowers who need that. And so let me start with some news. First and foremost, we have until April 30th, which is less than a month, to still apply for the income-driven repayment waiver program. That allows you to get up to 3 years of prior payments counted towards loan forgiveness. It also will allow you to consolidate your student loans and get prior payments counted. It's a big deal. We've helped people get 80, 90,000 of absolute forgiveness from applying and consolidating and getting access to income-driven waiver programs. In fact, we got a few calls last week of borrowers who told us they got over 6 figures, over 100,000 forgiven. So we're really excited about the program. You should absolutely consider consolidating if you have family educational loans, Perkins loans, or loans that are not direct loans, so you can get access to the benefits of the program, which will allow you to pay ultimately fewer payments on your student loans. So that's the first piece of information. You have less than a month. If you're not quite sure how to go about doing it, need help with consolidation, or need guidance, we're available. Completely free plans at app.myloansense.com. Okay. We will give you completely free analyses. Just sign up. It's completely free to sign up and to get that free plan. Okay. Again, if this information is useful, please consider like or subscribing so that you can get more information. It's been a while since I've created videos. I've been so busy going to conferences, meetings more specifically with lenders. But of course, we always want to build resources for student loan borrowers as well. Now, the second piece of news is, I'm sure a lot of people have been hearing it, but Biden's just given a lot of forgiveness. In fact, he announced $6 billion in forgiveness to 77,000 borrowers, almost 78,000 borrowers. It's quite impressive. It yields actually about 77,000 per person that has been forgiven. So it's quite a bit of money that has been forgiven. So if you're wondering if you can get access, if you qualify, there is no harm in going ahead and applying. A lot of people will automatically get put into SAVE. SAVE is not always the right and the best program, depending on what your income is, the increase and acceleration of your increased income, as well as keep in mind that the one benefit that SAVE does not allow you to have that pay as you earn does is that there is no payment cap, which means as your income goes up, your payment can exceed what your original standard 10-year payment was. So just keep that in mind, okay? Now let's go into qualification for borrower defense. That is really important information I want to get to today. In fact, here at LoanSense, we have rolled out a bar defense line to ask very specific questions. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and link a bit.ly, a 15-minute free Calendly below for those who want to learn more about bar defense and how we can individually help. It is definitely there for people who need more assistance. The paperwork for bar defense is much more lengthy, and the borrower has a pretty high and heavy burden of proving that the school deceited or defrauded them. That is what borrower defense is about. So we will link the bit.ly below if you can benefit from a free consult on borrower defense. Again, it's bit.ly/LSBD 2024. LSBD stands for LoanSense Borrower Defense 2024. That's the bit.ly link. I will include it below if you could benefit from this consult on borrower defense. Okay. So first and foremost, beyond knowing that there's a whole list of schools that automatically qualify. It's over 100 schools. I've done a whole video on what those schools are. I will also provide it up top, the link to that video if you'd like to watch it. But essentially the qualification for borrower defense is obviously if your school is on this list of schools that are qualifying for borrower defense, the better. So reasons borrowers, excuse me one second, let me reduce my screen so I can read some of my borrower defense notes here. Borrower defense, you apply because you believe your school misled or lied to you. And under this regulation, misrepresentation includes, for example, these are examples, right? They lied about job placement rates. Excuse the wind. I'm in my beautiful backyard. They lied about their job placement rates. They lied about accreditation. They lied about graduation rates. They also lied about the licensure or transferability of the credits, like saying, hey, if you take this course load, you can get licensed for this, when that was not true. Or they use predatory lending or recruiting practices. Some stories, not just stories, but what we've heard from borrowers include like taking out loans for semesters they didn't even actually end up enrolling in, and they got loans taken out for that, even though they dropped the course before the ad dropped. They still required them to pay. That is predatory lending and recruiting practices. Other predatory recruiting practices include saying, hey, if you do this program, you're going to get X job with these employers, and those employers don't even recruit at that school. The school closed before you got the degree or shortly after or while you were in the program. That also qualifies you. And then, of course, by the way, when you apply for borrower defense, you have to have proof of your claim. And proof can include your transcripts, enrollment agreements, promotional materials, communication from the school manual, the course catalog. So for example, if they say you could get this licensure with all 12 of these credits, you can take them all within X number of semesters, and then you have a course catalog saying that there's no way you could, that can count as pretty good evidence. Any legal docs, letters from the school, any supporting documentation that you have written, like email communication, things like that, you can use that as evidence in your bar defense case, okay? And of course, in the bar defense paperwork, you need to know, when did misrepresentation occur, what year? So if you took out loans for your education between July 1st of 2017 to June 30th of 2020, you have 6 years max to make your bar defense claim. If it's more recent, you have a 3-year period from the incident, okay? So that's the time box of when you can file the bar defense. That's really important, because if you don't time box it correctly and you've exceeded that time period, then you may not qualify just based on when you apply relative to the incident, okay? So keep in mind those dates again. From 2017 to 2020, you have 6 years. If it's more recent, you have 3 total years, which means if it happened in the end of 2020, you're already essentially outside of that 3-year time box, okay? So just keep that in mind. We need to know about what type of loans you borrowed. Again, with LoanSense, you can just go in our app and upload that. We'll help you determine that. Super easy. So based on those questions, if you have evidence that the school has misled you, misrepresented information based on your employment, your prospects, your graduation, ability to obtain a job, and you have evidence and you fall within of the time box, even if you can't, if evidence doesn't come top of mind, obviously you can go search for it. We can give you a 15-minute free consult to see if you're a good candidate. If you think you're a good candidate, then not only will we guide you in determining that and helping you look through your documentation, but we can also go ahead and help you submit a strong claim and answer any personal questions you may have about your specific case for the bar defense claim. Again, it takes a really long time for the Department of Ed to approve your claim, but the entire time that they are taking to approve or not approve your claim is time you do not actually have to pay your student loan. So just keep in mind it's in deferment, which again may negatively impact your mortgage because you're in deferment and let's say it's $150,000, a lender might use 1%, which is $1,500, which hurts you. So just keep that in mind. It may impact your ability to get a mortgage. We can help you answer questions around that and navigate that as well. Just keep that in mind. And by the way, the Department of Ed has to make their determination on whether they accept your application or not within 3 years. And if they do not make a determination, it will be discharged if they cannot make any determination within 3 years. That's pretty awesome. And it, of course, is only loans that apply to the degree in which you are claiming bar defense. So if you have a different degree with other loans, those loans that are not part of the bar defense case would not be considered. So keep that in mind. Some people think, oh, I have 200,000, but I went to school bar defense. I took out 50,000 and they think they're going to get all 200,000 discharged. But if the bar defense claim is only for regarding 50,000, you will have to pay on the other 150, for example. Okay. Of course, we can help you enroll in the proper plans to reduce your payment for the balance that you are not trying to claim bar defense for. Okay. We can assist you in determining all of that as well. We're here on standby. If you know anybody that can, again, check out the video with the schools listed for the almost 100 schools or 100 schools plus by now that there are claims on bar defense. Just keep that in mind. A lot tend to be like for-profit technical institutes, a lot of online programs. I'm not trying to say that that's absolutely it and there's no nonprofits, but there are quite some big cases like ITT. I shouldn't name them without looking at a list because I don't want to bad talk any school that's not necessarily being accused of mass bar defense claims, but they're certainly out there. So if you fall into that bucket and you think you have any evidence at all to make a claim, it's worth giving it a shot. The paperwork is lengthy. The application's 21 pages. Again, we can not just guide you in qualification, helping you put together a strong app with strong evidence, but ultimately you gather the evidence, but we can help make you make your application stronger and help you assist you enrolling the proper paperwork and submitting it on your behalf so that you can get your loans discharged if you are a great candidate for bar defense. We are on standby. Free plans, free analysis, free 15-minute consult to determine if you're a good candidate. List the link below. Please like, subscribe if you do like this. Again, we have less than 30 days to apply to income-driven repayment waiver. So even if you're applying to bar defense, but you have a sum that does not qualify, make sure you're enrolled in the income-driven repayment waiver program or your loans are qualifying for that to get a maximum number of loans qualified for forgiveness. I know I said a whole bunch of things really, really quickly. Comment below and let us know what your questions are so we can continue to be of service.